guy at the dollar store by my house. When you walk in, he goes, "Hello! Hello!" Yeah, that's how he does it. Hello! Like, what? Anyway, you can see me. If you saw that little short I put up night before last, I think it was, you couldn't see me. I was like, I don't know why. If I was at the job and I was thinking about this email that I got, and I was like, I'll make a video about that instead of just responding back to the person the way I was going to, because I know he's gonna see this. And I was like, well, maybe there'll be enough like street lights, you know, or it'll be light enough in my little van. Maybe, I don't know. Figured I'd give it a shot. Like do a little Rob After Dark, you know? Didn't work at all. I'm sure I could find a way to make it work, but that did not work. But anyway, get on this here garbage guy. Yeah, so I got an email. The guy's telling me he quit. And it's the way he worded it. He's like, I smelled somebody vaping something, so I went and bought one. I'm sorry. Like he let me down. Yeah, let me down, man. Like, fuck, dude. If nicotine was so easy to put down, if it was so easy to quit smoking cigarettes, and it was so easy to just walk away, none of us would have turned to vaping, right? To help step down that process. Nobody, you know, like, people who are addicts don't just quit. Like, it just doesn't work that way. Yeah, maybe there's some people that do, you know, but some people don't. No. And I don't look differently on people that quit and they get clean, and or they haven't done it for a little bit, whatever it is. Whether it's smoking or vaping or drugs, you know, like, oh, I walked away from it, and then, man, 2-3 weeks later, I went back. Oh, fucking horrible. Like, that's kind of part of the process, you know? And it happens, you know? I know people, it's a little different when this happens, when they're like, they're planning on relapsing, and that's their excuse for doing it. Because relapse is a part of recovery. But I know people that have been clean and been said that, like, oh, well, I'm probably going to relapse soon, because, you know, relapse is part of recovery. Of course you're going to relapse soon if that's your mindset. Of course. You know, if your mindset was, I'm going to do my damnedest not to relapse. I don't want to relapse. I don't. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to fight these urges, whatever the case may be. And if it just so happens to happen, then you say, okay, it's a part of recovery. Now I got to start over fresh. But again, this is coming from somebody who's been clean for 14 years, 15 years. Like, I don't know, however long it's been, 13. I don't know. It's been forever. I can't even tell you. But long fucking time. But it didn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? Shit, I'd go to jail for 6 months, get out, hadn't done shit for 6 months but drink coffee. You know what I mean? I'd be out, get a job, start making money, get around people I shouldn't be around, and bam, I'm right back at it. Before I know it, fucking I lose my job, ain't got no money. Now I'm hustling, right? Trying to buy shit cheap and sell it to these people so I can get some free shit. You know? Oh, you need 5? Oh, okay, well, if I can sell you 5 at this price, I can sell, you know, this person 4 at that price, I make a free one. Yeah! Right? Then I'm back in trouble, back in jail. You know? And really, fuck me, if it wasn't for my kids, Who knows? Who knows? But that's another story. I know I say that a lot. That's another story. But we're gonna get to that. So, well, I mean, for me, like, I grew up in a really open household, right? Like, my parents, they talked to us about drugs. Like, I knew what weed was when I was little. Like, and I knew, like, as far as drugs go, that wasn't one to worry about too much, you know? I knew to stay away from crack. I knew to stay away from heroin. I knew to stay away, like, these things. I knew these things would ruin your life. But what wasn't around when I was growing up was Oxycontin. Nobody told me about that shit, right? And then, like, when I was, like, 21, 22, I tried Coke once for, like, a year. I just tried it one time. And then, like, a year later, a year and a half later, I woke up one day. I had just gotten paid. I spent all night at the bar, blowing lines with my friends, drinking beer. Woo! I woke up and said, where'd all my money go? Like, fuck, that's right. I went back to my dudes at, like, 2 in the morning. Oh, man. Fuck. I said, man, I ain't doing that shit no more. Fuck that Coke shit. And that was it. That was easy. I was like, yeah. Taking too much of my money. Fuck the cocaine. But them oxys, man. Ooh, boy. And it's like, it was like a slow deal. And really, that came, I don't know, since when I was younger, I was a street pharmacist. Anything you wanted within reason, I could get it. What, you want a weed? Sure, I always had weed. Sell you whatever you want. How much you want? You want a pound? You want an ounce? What do you want? If you want a dime bag, don't call me. I'll tell you who to call. They'll sell it to you, because I don't have time for that shit, you know. But, fuck, man. Mushrooms, acid, weed, ecstasy. And somebody that I worked with at the time said, hey, man, you think you can sell these pills for me? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. He was like, this, you know, they're 40 milligram Oxycontin. I'll give them to you for like $15 a piece. He's like, I think you can sell them for like 20, 25. And I was like, all right. He gave me like a bottle full. I took them home. I made like 3 phone calls. I sold them all for like $25 a piece. Made $10 off each one. I was like, damn, that was sweet, right? I didn't know what I was selling. I was like, oh man, people love these things, right? And he's like, oh man, I got these bigger ones, these 80s. I'll give them to you for $40 a piece. All right, so I sold them all for $50. I'm like, this is sweet. So every 2 weeks, he'd give me, like, he was getting, like, I don't know where he was getting them from, but every 2 weeks, once a month, 40s, 2 weeks later, 80s. And that's how it was. And I went to this dude's house and sold him some, and he was like, hey, and he sat down, he was grinding them up, if you know what I'm talking about. If not, good for you. And he said, here, man, I did something for you. And I was like, oh, no. He's like, oh, you don't do these? I was like, nah, man, I'm making money. He's like, oh, all right. He's like, well, you could try it if you want it. He's like, I don't want no money back or nothing. I was like, nah, and I left. And I was telling one of my buddies about it at work the next day. And he was like, dude, you never? I was like, never. He's like, oh, come over later, man. I was like, fuck it, I got nothing to do. So I did some with him. Watching him play this game he just got. I was like PlayStation 2 or something. That's how long ago this shit was. I got sick. I threw up. He lived like, I don't know, 5 minutes from my house, like a 5-minute drive. The drive home felt like 2 hours. I'm sitting on my couch like, this is not cool, man. I don't know why people do these. Like, I'm gonna stop selling these fucking things. And then he was like, oh, you just did too much. Like the next day at work, I was like, dude, fuck that. And the dude I was getting them from, he said, you just take a little piece, just put it on your tongue, man, you feel good all day. You won't get sick, just a little piece. He wasn't fucking lying. And that started it all, man. Started all my troubles. And it was like a slow progression, you know? And then eventually it was like I would sell this whole bottle of shit, but I wasn't making any money. I was barely breaking even. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I sold all these things and I ain't got no money. So, and then sometimes I'd even owe money. Like, how the fuck do I owe money? And I had to think about it, like, oh shit, man. Yeah, I did a couple. And then, yeah, this person owes me money. So, yeah, alright, well, okay. You know, and then I kind of like justified it. You know, you start to justify shit. Oh, I had a bad day at work. Nah, this happened. And before you knew it, man, like, I wouldn't have something. And I was at work. I was like, dude, I feel like shit. And my buddy was like, dude, you're dope sick. And I was like, what the fuck is that? He's like, dude, you've been doing a lot of them things, man. He was like, now you don't have any? He's like, you're gonna start feeling like shit. And I was like, whatever. I didn't even know what he was talking about. He wasn't lying. I went home and somebody called me and had some for cheap, so I bought a bunch of them. You know, because I was gonna make some money. And I did a little bit, and my whole day changed. I went from like, oh, I'm not doing shit today. I don't feel like shit. I'm all sweaty, coughing, runny nose. To, damn, I feel like $1 million. You know? And that's how everything got started from there. And it was nothing but trouble. And that's what we'll end this. Right there. With nothing but trouble coming in my future. So yeah, like I said, man, like whatever you do, whatever it is, I'm never gonna be disappointed in people. I don't judge people. Like, I'm a better person today than what I was back then. That's for damn sure. Like, I wish I would have never went through that, because my life would be better today than what it is now. But I got a good life. I can't complain too much, you know. I don't complain too much about my life, that's for sure. Granted, I'd like some better things to be a little different, but wouldn't we all? Even people who got lots of money wish they had better shit, you know. But yeah, this will end this. When I come back, I'll just continue the journey, right? You just come along with me if you want. Alright? I appreciate every single one of you. I'll be back soon. Keep your head up. Fucking set your goals, man. Set them goals. I'll be back. You guys take care.